Hey guys, today I'm here with my monthly favorites. We're going to be chatting about everything that I loved this month. Lots of great stuff to chat about. As always, at the end I will be featuring my subscriber of the month and my YouTuber of the month, a recommendation for you to check out. And in addition to that, I just wanted to mention I've gotten a lot of questions about doing a hair care routine. Absolutely gonna do like a curly girl wash and go, how I style my hair kind of video, but I did do a video with Shea Moisture recently, and that's essentially my curly hair routine, so I will link that down below. And there's also a giveaway in there for my Canadian friends. Shea Moisture Canada is hosting, so that will be linked down below if you either want to see the curly hair routine or enter to win Shea Moisture, or whichever one it is. But anyways, let's go ahead. Oh, and one more thing, my eyes, I'm wearing the Emily Edit palette. I'm working on like a 3 looks, 4 looks, 1 palette review type thing, so that will be coming. I just need to film all the looks and test it out, so stay tuned for that probably next week. But let's go ahead and get started. So I normally don't include foundations that I've yet to do a full review on, because I like to be able to tell you that I like it and then also show you why I like it so much in the form of an Oily Skin Diaries review, so you can see it on my face, see how it wears, blah 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 blah. But this is actually an older foundation that I have finally tried and I've really been enjoying. I will definitely review it, but it's going to take me a little while to get to it just because I have some newer foundations to review. The review of this will be coming, but let me spoil it for you now. I have been loving, and you're probably like, obviously Samantha, we've all been loving this for years, the Lancome Teint D'Or Ultra Wear Foundation. I'm obsessed with this. They had sent it to me a little while ago, but it wasn't the right shade and I was always mixing it and whatever. Anyways, I've been wearing this for the past couple days, just kind of testing it out because I was curious, because they've released a bunch of new complexion products and I'm so happy with this. It's buildable, it wears so nicely. I wore this yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I don't know what I did. I think I was filming or something. Yeah, I filmed in the morning and then I easily could have just like washed off my face, and because sometimes like if I'm wearing a bunch of makeup, you know how you just want to get it off your face if it's not necessary. But I actually wore this till like 11 p.m. and it kind of wore down, but it wasn't oily, it didn't get patchy, it just kind of like wore down nicely after like 13 hours of wear, and it was incredibly comfortable. And yeah, so I'm just really late to the bandwagon on this one, but I've really been enjoying it. And let me just continue breaking the rules, not as much as I did with that one, but this is a product that I more or less just got, and I'm gonna do a lip swatch video and a whole kind of collection, what's new from Rimmel type video. But they have launched the Stay Satins. I did not know these were coming, but I'm so glad they did. I love the ColourPop satin lips, and I like their matte lips as well, but I like these even more. And like I said, very new to me. I only just started testing them out. So the 2 shades, I'm actually wearing another shade on my lips right now. I wanted to go with something more nude right now. This is As If. I am wearing it with a lip liner, and then yesterday I wore shoulder pads, and then I also wore For Sure. So I am really enjoying these. They don't have the same staying power as their Stay Mattes, but they're incredibly comfortable. They still have great staying power and they don't patch off in a bad way. I'm okay with something not staying on for like 24 hours and sacrificing that staying power for some comfort, especially moving into winter. But for me, it's mostly important is how does it look on my lips after lunch, after whatever it may be. I don't want it to be a mess. I don't want to have to think about it too much. And so far I've had a really great experience with these, so I will continue testing them. And like I said, I will do that lip swatch video. They've also got a new palette and new blushes, but I did just want to mention these in case these kind of pop up in the drugstore and you're like, what are these, Samantha, what do you think? So far really happy with these, and I'm so excited, and I love a lot of the colors too, so stay tuned for that video. A bunch of lip products to talk about this month, so let's continue on. The Sephora Cream Lip Stains. I think these are incredible liquid lipsticks. These are matte liquid lipsticks, really great lasting power on these, and I can't remember if they're $14 or $18. I think they might have been 14 and now they're 18. I can't totally remember, but there is a huge range of shades. Probably the biggest shade range I've ever seen in liquid lipsticks. There's like blues, there's a ton of neutrals, there's purples, there's reds, there's nudes, there's deeps. There's so many great shades. I did a lip swatch video on the original, I think like 16 shades when it came out, and then they came out with like 40 more, but there's so many good shades. So a shade that 2 shades that I wore recently, because I was actually doing a campaign for them, and I kind of discovered a few new shades that I had never tried. 54, which I believe is Autumn Wind or something like that. And then 87, I can't remember what the name of this is, but this shade is like this brownie deep, like it was just such, I felt so, you know when you put on, actually both of these shades, you know when you put on a shade and you're just like, ooh, I love this. Same can be said for this one. It's kind of like a little bit of a different, like this is a more typical fall shade, but it has like that really nice brownie chocolatiness in it that I really like. But then this one is a little bit different. It's like a deep lilac, and it's such a flattering shade, but it can go so wrong if it has like too much pastel in it. So these are beautiful shades, and in general I've had great experiences with these lipsticks, but these two shades specifically really got me excited. And lastly, this is another newer lipstick formula, and I'm pointing out this shade specifically, but I have tried some other shades and really liked them. But this one really kind of caught my eye, and there was another one in the shade Redhead. This is in the shade Cappuccino. They are the Kiss lipsticks they're called the Truism Color Intense lipsticks. I think there's like satin ones, matte ones, and excuse me, they come in the similar shape to the Annabelle lipstick that I used in a recent Get Ready With Me, where it's this teardrop shape, which is like surprisingly delightful. Actually very easy to apply, and you'd think it might be like kind of an awkward shape, but it's not at all. It's really great, and I point this shade out specifically because I'm so into like these peachy nudes lately, and this is such a good shade. Similar to the one I'm wearing on my lips, it's the kind of thing I would generally pair with a lip liner, and I did just do a my favorites lip liner video that will be linked down below. They have a very light scent. There's a ton of shades in the range. Kiss is quite affordable. It's available at Rexall here in Canada. I can't remember exactly where else, but I will link to their website down below, and you can find it all there. But yeah, really like Kiss makeup. I'm wearing their Top Brow eyebrow pencil. I've been wearing that nonstop, but these are great lipsticks. Another drugstore find that I'm super pumped about. I am not picky or bougie or snobby about just about any makeup. Like I'll try Dollarama, I'll try Tom Ford, even though I haven't yet, but I would try it. Like I don't care, I just like products. I'm a consumer and I'm a little bit materialistic, if you didn't guess. But for concealers, I like drugstore concealers, but I'm never super blown away, and I'm never like excited, not that I'm not excited to reach for it, but I'm just, my staples are generally high end. But this one is like really coming close to having potential for being a staple. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers that I've ever tried. It is the L'Oreal True Match, which they already had a True Match concealer, but this is the super blendable multi-use concealer, and I do believe it could easily be used as a contour as well if you're looking for a good cream contour. But I really like this. I have used this before in a Get Ready With Me, so you can see it in action there, but I have also used it since, and I'm really impressed with it. I think it has really good coverage. A lot of drugstore concealers, for me anyways, I feel like when I go to blend it out, they just disappear. And these don't disappear. I always let concealer set under my eyes a little bit before I blend it out, because my under eyes like eat concealer or something like that. I don't know what it's up to. But this held up really nicely, so I will link to that Get Ready With Me down below so you can see it in action. But it seems like it has a pretty good shade range, goes pretty fair to quite deep, I think, and like I said, I do think it would act as a really nice kind of highlight and contour as well if you were looking for something like that. So I really loved Smashbox's holiday palette last year. I thought it was great. I wasn't sure if it was going to work for my skin tone. The bronzer was like a little light, but it was great. I traveled with it, which means it's, you know, very special to me. I don't travel with things that I don't feel strongly about. But when this came out, and a few of you actually tagged me in the post because you were like, you like warm tones, you like Smashbox face palettes. This is the Smashbox Ablaze face palette, and this looks a little different. I went to what's going on here? Let me just have a little sip. Sorry about that. I went to like a launch party for it, and they had someone there kind of customizing them. But I think that this is just beautiful. I'm wearing both of the highlights mixed together on my face now. I've worn them both separately. I think they're gorgeous. I think both of the blushes, because the blush in the original holiday palette was pink, and there was one that was a little more coral, and they were nice, but these really speak to me. And then this one works for me. This one I don't think I've really played with. It's probably something I would maybe try to contour my nose with or put in the crease of my eye, but I really love this. I would still really love to see them come out with two face palettes when they do a face palette launch, because face palettes are so polarizing and they always come out at the holidays, and there's very few that I can use, and I'm obviously not even that deep, so it really just kind of limits a group of people. That being said, this is the most deep skin friendly that I've seen. I think the highlighters and the blushes for sure could work. These not so much on very deep skin, but I do think it's gorgeous, and I'm glad to see such a nice warm face palette. And I really, really love I've said face palette so many times, but I love the face palettes that Smashbox has done. I want to chat about two really great liquid highlighters. These are beamin', like these are crazy. They're almost like metallic eyeshadows, but I don't want to say that and scare you away, because you can work with them for sure. And it doesn't look like, it looks very, very glowy, very impactful, but at the same time it's not chunky. It doesn't highlight texture too much on the skin. These are from The Balm. They're the Mary Duminizer and Bonnie Duminizer. So you may be familiar with the Luminizers. These are the Duminizers, so it is the liquid version, and these are beautiful. I find that if you put this on like on your foundation and then you powder over it, you don't even need to put a highlight on it. It's gorgeous. Oh, my boyfriend's getting home from work. I didn't tell him I was filming. Hello.
Hello, happy hour?
Yes. Thanks. So I'm watching my murders, obviously, and guess what came up? Serbian Mafia.
Serious.
It's my first time I've heard of Serbian in my crime journeys.
You're about to hear.
It was this like British crime reporter, and apparently there was like Serbian Mafia talking about her at the bar. Okay, I don't know where I was, but anyways, I really, really like these highlighters. And the last point that I wanted to make is when you go on the Balm's website, or just like the Balm's prices in general, I'm always surprised. They're the same price as like a lot of things at the drugstore nowadays, especially if you are American, because the shipping is very, very reasonable, if not free over a certain amount from the Balm's website. Canadians, not so much. It's quite expensive, but you can buy it in some stores here in Canada, and you can get it on Amazon as well. It's definitely more expensive, but like, that's Canada for you. If you live in the United States and you haven't been on their website lately, definitely take a look, because I really love basically everything they do, and the prices are really great. I want to point out this blush that I mentioned in my recent What's New at Sephora video. This is the Chic to Cheek Swish and Pop blusher from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the first blush I've tried from them, and it's in the shade The Climax, and it's so beautiful on the cheeks. In that video, I didn't even end up wearing a highlighter. I did put on like a cream highlighter under my powder, but generally I'll follow up with a powder highlighter. But I thought this just gave such a gorgeous glow. It was like this pinky bronzy glow, but it wasn't too much on the cheeks, because I don't want to, as I said in that video, highlight my pores. I just want to have like a nice glow. So very, very easy. I've always been like a little bit hesitant to try much from Charlotte Tilbury, because it always seems like it's made for like fair skin models that have amazing skin, and I'm like, not me, not me, and not me. But I've actually tried a lot lately that I've really enjoyed. So let me know if you'd like a Charlotte Tilbury video from me. I know a lot of people are doing that lately because they are available at Sephora now, but this blush is really beautiful. I'm really, really liking it. I feel like it's just one of those products that it's easy, it's buildable. Like, her products are not like heavily pigmented, so I like that it builds. You can add as much as you want to your cheeks. I think if you have my skin tone, you could wear it, but if you have a more fair skin tone, I think you could also wear this as well with a lighter hand. So I really have been enjoying this, and like I said, I have been trying out more of her products, so if you'd like to see more from me about her line, just let me know. Lastly, I have a hair and a skin product that I want to mention. Something new from Marc Anthony, always talking about them. It is the Bye Bye Frizz silicone-free 8-in-1 serum. This has Abyssinian oil. Oh, my boyfriend just left and he opened the door, and I think someone's cooking like Indian food or something. It smells real good. I'm doing like intermittent fasting kind of ish, and I don't eat till 12, and it's currently 10:55, so getting hungry. But this is the 8-in-1 serum, reduces frizz, strengthens, moisturizes, repairs, humidity, protects, nourishes, and smooths. And I've really been liking this as a last step. So if I'm filming, if I'm going out, heading out the door, I'll just pump some out in my hand and run it through my curls to kind of smooth things out, and kind of defrizz and add shine, which I really, really like. How do they suggest you use it? Yeah, basically the same way I'm doing it. So really love this. The Bye Bye Frizz line existed, but they've added some new products. I don't know if this is one that existed already and they've added it or not, but it's also really small. So even if you wanted to keep it in your bag or travel with it just to like touch up hair, it's nice, and it's silicone free, which is a great thing for curly hair. I'm not totally anti-silicone. Some people get like real up in arms about it, so like whatever floats your boat, but it is nice to have that option, and it does add lots of smoothness and shine. Lastly, from Ulla Henriksen, this is the Transform Plus Goodnight Glow Retin Alt Sleeping Cream. And I have also, I mentioned their cold pore plunge mask in a favorites video maybe 2 months ago. Still loving that. Like, this brand gets a lot of talk, you know, in influencer campaigns and whatever, so I don't know if you feel like you're like, does it really work? And I mean, I'm kind of in that world too, so whether you believe me or not is up to you, but I gotta say, every time I use that cold pore plunge mask, it is delightful. I really feel like it helps with the texture and smoothness of my skin. So this is part of their newer line, and this is the Bakuchiol, probably butchering it, and AHA's sleeping cream. So it's essentially like a nighttime moisturizer, and the Bakuchiol is a, I can't remember if it's like a natural or a synthetic alternative to retinols, and I am by no means a skincare expert, but what I can tell you is that this, first of all, just feels really nice on the skin when you put it on at night. I use it just on its own. I've used it, I don't use it every night, I'll use it every couple nights, but like this morning when I woke up, and I hadn't used it in a few days, I used it last night and I was just like, ooh, things are very smooth. And like, I by no means have perfect skin, but this is really nice. I've also been trying out the serum and enjoying that, but I really wanted to point out this this sleeping cream. Really like it. My skin seems to really like AHA's, so really been enjoying this. It's an anti-fighting facial cream, and I feel like anybody of any skin type could use it. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, it's really nice somewhere in the middle, and it really seems to help kind of smooth out the skin and help kind of brighten it, and it just looks better the next day. So let's move on to my favorite people of the month. For my subscriber, it is Allison Chase. I will link to her down below. She actually has her own YouTube channel, and she's fabulous. Not only is she always active here in the comment section of my YouTube videos, but also Instagram, Twitter. I'm more or less sure we pretty much talk every single day. So she's fabulous. I will link to her down below. Thank you so much for your support, Allison. And for my YouTuber of the month, it's actually a friend who I've mentioned before. It is LJ. You've seen her in my vlogs. She's Irish and delightful. But the reason I bring her up to you again is she's doing something incredible. Last year, she did what she dubbed Liptober, where she swatched on her Instagram lipsticks every single day. This month, or this year, and for October, she's going to be doing Browtober, but she's stepping it up, and for an amazing cause. So she is shaving off her eyebrows, like full on shaving them off. She didn't tell me this. She posted on Instagram, and I messaged her. I was like, what? She's shaving off her eyebrows, and she's going to be doing tutorials throughout the month on basically how you would do your brows with different brow products and testing them out if you're starting with essentially no base. And she's doing this in support, and she's going to be donating money and having other bits and pieces, all for breast cancer, which I think is just incredible, because it's something that you may not think about. You know, it's the kind of thing that if you're going through something like that, having those tutorials and those things out there, if it's something that you're looking for, could just be so incredibly helpful. And it's probably something that is not as readily available as something like your average brow tutorial. So the fact that she's willing to take this step to not only help but raise money and educate and bring awareness, I think is just incredible. She is just the sweetest angel. So I will link to her YouTube and her Instagram down below. She'll be able to give you more details. As I'm filming this video, she's still kind of putting it together, but she'll be able to tell you herself in her adorable Irish accent. So be sure to go check her out, support the cause. I will be doing as much as I can as well to help her out, because I think it's an amazing cause, and breast cancer touches a lot of families. It's touched mine recently, and I think it's just an awesome thing. So LJ is just awesome. Be sure to go check her out, and that's everything I have for this month. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Samantha Jane YT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!